What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. Jay and I are here for another Sabine game. And this time, Jay is pitting Thrawn against Sabine. And we're going to see
Thrawn.
Double
Yellow
Yellow
Thrawn.
That's right. So
Spicy.
we're going to see if Double Yellow's got what it takes and what Thrawn's got what it takes to take on Sabine, just like in the show.
Yep.
So let's roll this tape.
I think there are some changes to the Sabine deck since we last played it.
Yes, there are. We got Heroic Sacrifice, which is ridiculous. So
Did we have K2 last time we played?
we did have K2, I believe.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going first here.
Let me pause this bad boy here.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, you're going first. You won the roll off. Here's our opening hands. I think you're about to toss that back.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure.
I have a 2 cost that's not good early. Neither of my 2 costs are good early. And then I have 1 cost. So I either want a 2 cost that's good or 2 1 costs. And I don't have either of those things. I also know Crafty Smuggler, is that what it's called, is really good against this deck because it's shielded and takes out a lot of your 2 health characters. So I'm also mulliganing for that pretty hard.
For sure. Yep. And on my side, I resourced 1 copy of Rebel Pathfinder because I had 2. Rebel Pathfinder is very good against the Crafty Smuggler. So I wanted to keep at least one of those just in case you dropped that first round. I'm going to keep this A-Wing for sure. And then I don't remember what my other resource is. It looks like it's going to be Ezra here, but let's find out. We're also running this on 1.5 times speed, so I might be pausing a little bit more than last time. So
That's
Jay, this is your opening hand.
So I'm mulligan and I draw into my Crafty Smuggler. I'm like, sweet, this is going to be nice. Yeah, that's it.
Sick. And you also have 2 waylays and a cunning.
Yeah,
and,
so I'm going to be bouncing and exhausting, that's for sure.
That's right.
So I'm resourcing the I can't remember what it's called, but that space unit that's not that good because it doesn't even take out an A-Wing or anything. And then I don't need 2 waylays. 1 is enough. And then I definitely want to keep cunning because that's probably one of the best. Arguably that's the best card in the whole.
I don't think it's arguable. I think that is the best card in the deck.
Yeah. So I have to keep cunning. And then having 2 Crafty Smugglers feels good, especially turn 2. I can go Crafty Smuggler and Thrawn ability.
For sure.
So that's the first thing I do. I play that. Now you have the option of playing Rebel Pathfinder, or you can go into space.
Yeah, it is like the reason why Rebel Pathfinder I think is pretty good in this deck is because it does pair really well into Crafty Smuggler. But also, I can't pass up an A-Wing that just like hits you in the face for 3 every turn and you're not in space. Right. So,
but also, I get to go first next turn because you're gonna do. I use my resources. I have nothing to do. I'm gonna claim.
Right.
You're gonna Sabine. That means I can swing into your Pathfinder first to get damage on it before it can remove my shield and.
Totally. Yeah. Rebel Pathfinder definitely better if I'm going first and I play it first before you get to play your thing. The other reason why I went A-Wing here is because I have both Red 3 and Wing Leader in my hand. And I'm like, okay, I can just like lean super heavy into space, kind of ignore ground for a while. And, often you can get enough damage just in space.
Yep. So I'm pretty sure I just take the initiative here if I haven't already.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You did, I think, forget to use Thrawn's ability here, but you're not going to exhaust anything. You get to look at like maybe 1 card that might end up in my hand or my resources. I don't think it made a huge difference here.
No.
Okay, I did not catch what you resourced at all. So
I resourced a Boba Fett, I think.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm resourcing Surprise Strike. All right, so I drew Boba Fett and Surprise Strike. Boba Fett's a really good play here if I don't go Crafty Smuggler into Thrawn, but also Surprise Strike, I actually resourced it here because I'm like, you don't have anything that has high enough health for me to feel like I need this to be able to kill it. In addition to, I'm not the aggro deck, so I'm not just trying to deal damage to your base out of hand, so I don't need this. I think I did make a mistake because it helps me defeat Sabine. Sabine's the only thing that is in your deck that I would need to have Surprise Strike for.
Yeah, that's true. That's interesting. I guess you could have maybe, because you want to either play Boba or I guess what you're thinking is Crafty Smuggler plus Thrawn's ability.
Yeah.
The other, I guess, way you could go is like you do Boba this turn, and then when I bring Sabine out, you can use Surprise Strike with the Crafty Smuggler you already have to kill Sabine.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely interesting there. And then I drew Sabine and Heroic Sacrifice, and I'm probably
Rebel Pathfinder.
Probably resourcing Rebel Pathfinder. Maybe I resource Sabine, thinking that like I can still play Rebel Pathfinder and get value out of it against the Crafty Smuggler at some point. But I'm just going into space this game. I don't think I'm ever playing either of those.
Oh, Sabine it is.
I'm thinking about it.
I'm taking a look at the top cards of our decks here.
Yeah.
You'll be able to cut this out.
Yeah. All right. So I did resource Sabine. I was thinking about resourcing Wing Leader because then I was like, oh, next turn I could play Sabine and Rebel Pathfinder on turn 3. Mm-hmm. But I figured I'd draw into something that I'd be able to play. That made more sense.
So I can either go ahead and swing in here, which is fine. I could exhaust your guy with Thrawn, which is what I probably do.
What you do.
Save as much damage as I can, reveal that red 3, and exhaust the A-Wing, because I don't want to take... I'm trying to prevent as much damage as I can to stay alive as long as I can.
Name of the game against Sabine for sure.
So you got your wing leader out on the A-Wing, which is really nice. And then I just go ahead and go face because I know you can't play anything. You have no resources, so I'm not worried about trying to swing into something on your ground. You get to take the initiative.
Yeah, so I took initiative here instead of using Sabine's ability because I wanted to make sure that I could hit you for 5 next turn with A-Wing before you exhausted again.
Right. So if you don't take initiative here, I would not play my Crafty Smuggler. I would not spend my 2 resources so that next turn I could play Cunning or Waylay is even better here probably because I can just bounce your
bounce one
experience
thing and then exhaust something else with Thrawn's ability probably,
and you lose so much value. So it was smart to go ahead and do that, which means I'm just going to play my Crafty Smuggler.
Yeah,
it's not worth the 2 damage or the 1 damage from Sabine to not be able to use your A-Wing.
Yeah, definitely against yellow. That's like a much bigger consideration than against other decks. So I resource the second red 3 in my hand, and you're gonna resource something here.
Probably a surprise strike.
Yeah.
This is where I resource both of those, and then at this moment when I realized Sabine's coming out, I'm like, man, I should have saved that because I could take out Sabine, and I didn't.
Would you have resourced Cartel Spacer instead? Probably.
Yeah. Or Waylay, one of those 2. Mm-hmm. I'm at 4 resources this turn, so yeah, I play at 3 cost and then use Thrawn's ability is probably what I do.
Yeah, okay, so now you're looking at the top cards. I got a little ahead of things and got too excited about dealing the 5 damage to you.
Yep, you did the 5 diggity dogs. Now I'm deciding if I'm exhausting something. What am I doing here? I know Sabine's coming out. Yeah, so I go ahead and exhaust the wing leader. Prevent that 2 damage.
Yeah. You could have exhausted, or not exhausted. Yeah, you could have exhausted Sabine with that instead, but I think maybe you're...
Well, I have the Cartel Spacer.
Right, okay, yeah, so you could exhaust it regardless.
Yep, because she costs 4 less. So that's what I do. I'm wasting a resource this turn, but I think I'm fine with that because I prevented a fair amount of damage. Oh man, now you're getting red 3 out. You got a big board.
I'm getting a big space board.
Well, I get
to
go first, and guess what card I have in my hand?
Yeah, you got that old Cunning. I'm immediately resourcing R2. You don't have to go to 5 resources all the time, but it is pretty good when you draw into K2 and some other stuff that you might want to play at the same time. I also had like Rebel Pathfinder plus Fleet Lieutenant here if I wanted to. So it gives me more flexibility, and I'm never playing R2 at this point in the game.
Yep. Makes sense. I drew a Cantina bouncer and a TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter ain't doing nothing for me here. So that's what I resource. Look at the top cards of our decks, and then Cunning's got to be the first card I play here.
It's got to
be. Exhaust Sabine.
It's so good.
Bounce the A-Wing, bounce red 3. Or exhaust red 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Cunning.
Yeah, I think it's exhaust Sabine and red 3 and then bounce A-Wing because you want me to lose those experience tokens.
Yeah, super good card, especially in this situation. I'm discussing something. I'm discussing if I don't know what I'm discussing. Actually, I think I forgot how the card worked. It's what I did, and then we fixed it.
Yeah, we figured it out pretty quickly there.
Now you're gonna be doing something. What are you gonna do here? Do you attack in?
Do I Fleet Lieutenant, hit you for 4 and play A-Wing back? I think that's what I do.
I got 2 Crafty Smugglers. They're only threatening 4 damage total.
I'm thinking about K2, but I also don't want you to be able to kill K2 with your 2 Crafty Smugglers. I could Jet a City one of them, but...
I could also exhaust Wing Leader here. So you probably Fleet Lieutenant Wing Leader, so I can't exhaust.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm losing out on another resource this turn and last turn, which is not optimal for sure.
Yeah, so you take out the wing leader there.
Here comes
I
the
play the A-wing.
Trash.
Yeah, I wanted to get value out of that A-wing or wing leader before you could kill it with spacer.
Yeah, so. Or exhaust it.
Mm.
I probably would have exhausted it, but I don't know if it would have mattered because I probably swing in with the spacer anyway. And now I'm like, well, I can't kill Sabine. I should have kept the surprise strikes.
Oh, yeah.
So I just swing both my crafty smugglers into Sabine. So now she's got 1 health left.
You'll kill it eventually.
Yeah.
It lets me take the initiative, which I am happy with. Yep. It's hard. It's kind of hard to keep initiative with Sabine against a lot of decks because you go kind of wide. Mm-hmm. But when you do get to go first, it feels good because it's guaranteed damage.
Yep. I don't even know what I resourced there.
Yeah, hang on. Let me go back. I don't know what I resourced either.
I resourced probably a Cantina Bouncer. Yeah. So I'm going into 6 resources here. I'm probably not playing 2 Cantina Bouncers. So I figured get rid of 1. I have low cost units on board to get the shield off of the Asteroid Sanctuary if I needed to. So it's just another way to exhaust something and get a shield.
For sure. Makes sense. I think I resourced Rebel Pathfinder here because I want to be able to play potentially K2 and Surprise Strike this turn. I think I probably immediately Surprise Strike so that I make sure that I can get value out of it.
Yep. I take a look at your the top cards of our decks, and here comes Surprise Strike.
For, I think, 8 total damage or something.
Not how much I put on there. I'm
already
at 19.
Yeah.
Already at 19. Not looking at, you got a big board, and I've got 11 health left.
Yeah,
and it barely done any.
At this point, I'm trying to set up K2 at the end of this turn so you can't kill it, and also I claim. That's like best case scenario for me is you can't kill K2, and I get to go first so that I can just deal 9 damage to you. Yeah.
Which is a strong combo.
I'm hoping to at least get another 2 damage off. Worst case scenario for me here is you have Cunning and I deal 0 damage again after this whatever play.
That would stink. I don't know what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking try to prevent as much damage as I can. So I'm going to bounce something so if I play Cantina Bouncer, I bounce red 3 and that prevents 2 damage because
6 damage, I think, or 5 damage, right? Because
I mean 2 extra.
Sure, 2 extra. Yep.
From the 2 heroic characters you have on board.
Definitely is the move.
So that's the best play there. And then you swing in, I exhaust your fleet lieutenant.
I'm happy to see that card on top of my deck.
All right, yeah. I have 0 resources left.
Yeah.
And you still have a lot. So I take out Sabine because I think that's the best thing I can do.
So now I'm thinking about playing K2, but I think I Jeddah City the Crafty Smuggler so that I guarantee that you can't kill K2 this turn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he gets Jeddah
I know
City.
Thrawn's coming out. You could pair Thrawn with Crafty Smuggler to kill K2, and I was like,
oh yeah, true.
I can't let you do
so
that.
You bring out K2, and then I think I do something, but I'm like, wait, I'm at less than 9. So if you have heroic sacrifice, I just die.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I probably claim there, but I think I don't draw into anything. Well, I guess Waylay saves me there.
Waylay is good.
But you still have...
I have 4 cause and heroic sacrifice and a bunch of damage. So I could heroic sacrifice the A-wing in for 5 damage and then 4 cause potentially.
Yeah.
And that's usually 9 damage, like 8, 9 damage. I don't have that many non-hero cards in here. So I think it was looking bad for you. If you had drawn into Cunning here, then that would have been
crazy.
Real good. So, but yeah.
It would have been a lot closer anyway.
For sure.
And that's the end of the game.
Yep.
I'm like,
yep. Showing off the value and the power of Heroic Strike here. I didn't even draw the card off of it, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, that was it. GG.
That was just it.
That was it. Right. That was more. You actually did more than 30.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, and it is quite a bit tougher to get through a 30 health base than a 25 health base. So
yep.
This may have looked different if you were playing Jeddah City.
We both mulliganed here.
Yep.
And I'm a lot happier with what I drew into.
Let me see what these
my
look
first draw. No, this is the mulligan. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the first draw. Here we go.
My first draw, I had Cunning, and I don't want to give that up, but I also have no turn 1 play.
Yeah, that's
so
a little,
I had to put
tough.
it back. Literally one of the worst opening hands you could have.
It's interesting. Like, is cunning high enough value that you should keep
Don't
in hand?
play something on.
You had Boba Fett too, so you could Boba Fett turn 2, then follow that up with cunning on turn 3. I don't know, man.
Sabine gets way too far ahead if you can't do anything.
It's possible. It's possible. And I think I'm putting this back because I want to see if I can draw A-Wing.
Yeah, if neither of us put back there, if I keep it for the cunning, you play Spec Force Soldier and Bethnick, and I can't do anything about it.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Well, turn 2 you play Boba. Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to wait until turn 3. I got a free
Bethnick too.
I got like 7. I got like 6 damage probably. But
and play something.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
There's no way.
Right.
But I do get a pretty good one here. I get a TIE Fighter and a Greedo. So I get to play both of those, and I get to play them in 2 different arenas. So no matter which way you go, I'll have something.
Something. And then I'm resourcing the Spec Force Soldier, and looks like for a cause. No, Surprise Strike. Just because Surprise Strike requires me to have something that I can attack with, and for a cause I can just deal the damage.
Yep. You have 2 options too. You can either go into space or you can go to ground.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had that.
So available. I don't want you playing A-Wings, so I play the TIE Fighter first. And I'm like, maybe he won't go space and go ground. And then you do the Sabine thing. I'm like, fine, I'll just play my Greedo out. And you go space anyway.
Yeah, A-Wing's just good, man. And also, like, Sabine into Greedo when you're going first is kind of terrible because you just kill me before I can use my ability into you. So
yep. Greedo nice. Greedo's real good.
Yeah, Greedo's real good. I
drew something plus cunning. It doesn't matter what I drew because it's getting resource because I'm keeping
Bosk. Yeah, it makes sense.
I have way too long to get there. It's gonna not do me nothing.
I've noticed that Bosk is kind of too slow against Sabine in general. So
against Sabine for sure. You probably sideboard
it's a good card.
Scout.
It's a good card. All right, and I have for Fleet Lieutenant and Rebel Pathfinder. I think I'm thinking about it, and I resource a Pathfinder, resource a Fleet Lieutenant just in case I have to play both Sabine and Rebel Pathfinder next turn.
Right. So now what do? I'm going first. Do I want to swing in? Do I want to play my Bodhi and get whatever you got out of your hand, see what's coming?
Bodhi's also real good against this deck.
TIE Fighter stinks into A-Wing here because I just die. But it doesn't matter. Sabine's going face, so I could just go face with my TIE Fighter if I need to. Here comes Bodhi. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's get rid of that.
That's gone.
not letting you kill me with that. That's for sure.
Nope.
But you get your Fleet Lieutenant and deal 5 damage.
I like pretty good. 5 damage.
So I just swing in.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what to do here. I think I can't remember if I jet a city. No, I think I do that next turn. Then I get wrecked.
Yes.
I took initiative here because I wanted to go first next round.
Instead of dealing the 1, which is fine.
We'll see if that comes back to bite me. I don't remember if it does or not.
You're resourcing a Rebel Pathfinder here. I'm resourcing the Crafty Smuggler, I think. So I'm gonna be on 4.
You're thinking about resourcing this cell block guard.
I am, and
because you're on 4 and you have cunning in your hand, you're like, oh, I'm gonna play cunning for sure.
Right, and then I'm thinking about it, and it's like you need to have more units out for me to make super good use of it. So you're gonna use yourself before Sabine drops. So either the Cartel Spacer will actually be better for me. And then I think I end up keeping Cellbot Guard because he fits with the curve. Because it's like play him for 3 and then Thrawn for 1.
Yeah. And I'm putting that Pathfinder back. Figure this turn I can play K2. Next turn I can play Falcon and Sabine. That's my guess. All right. So
Crafty Smuggler. Gone to the resources.
Looking at the top cards. All right. So I'm gonna kill Bodhi here. My plan is basically
really interesting.
So I'm thinking like I don't want to bring Sabine out into both Bodhi and Greedo, which can just, Greedo potentially can just kill her by himself. I feel like if I attack you with Fleet Lieutenant, you're probably not trading into Fleet Lieutenant with Bodhi, and you're sort of like controlling the ground arena a lot more effectively than me. And I want to be able to try and bring Sabine out into a more favorable ground arena. but I don't consider the fact that you have subblock guard, and it wrecks me. Because my plan is to jet a city Greedo here, and then hit Greedo with Sabine, so that the most you could do back to Sabine is 2 damage, and that doesn't work out that well for me. Maybe I should have just hit you with Fleet Lieutenant, just straight up.
Either way, if Sabine is having to attack my stuff,
I know, yeah, you're happy. Yeah,
I'm in a good place.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like exactly what's on the top of your deck for Greedo, so that's
I know
always
if
a little
swing
spooky.
in, I might I know my chances. So either I attack Sabine and get to defeat her in 1 shot, or I just go face for 3.
All right, so you're exhausting my A-Wing.
Yeah, obviously that's the choice, and then you use your Jeddah City so that if you flip out Sabine, she just doesn't auto die.
Yeah,
and then
now you play Cell Block Guard, and I feel bad because Sabine can't take out Cell Block Guard, and it's a whole thing. So I deal 1 to each of us. Probably playing K2.
Yeah, K2's good. I go face. I'm winning the race.
Yeah, this went all kinds of wrong. All right, you took initiative. I got nothing else to do.
So I'm in such a good place right here. I'm feeling good about it.
You're feeling good.
I skipped the 3 damage because I don't. Oh wait, no, you Jeddah City'd anyway.
Yep.
So
yeah, I do still think like you want to be going first.
Yes, I want to be able to exhaust or cunning or whatever before you get to do anything. And you don't flip Sabine out here.
No, I don't, because
like, nah.
I'm like, you could just Greedo and kill her instantly next turn. I get no value out of it. Like,
or
I figured
strike.
I wanted to be able to use her ability another time before I flipped her out. Like, it didn't really make a ton of difference between flipping her like now or like next round at some point, because I'm not attacking with her this round anyway.
Right.
All right, so I drew Ezra and Fleet Lieutenant. You drew Bodhi and another cunning.
Yeah, I have double cunning in hand. I'm like, all right, this is
you're chilling.
This is game right here. That's what it felt like anyway.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on 5, so I could play cunning plus exhaust, which I don't need because you don't have enough units on the board. So I can go Bodhi plus exhaust, or I can not exhaust at all, use the cartel spacer to exhaust and play Bodhi, but I'm not resourcing a cunning. So I don't remember what I resource here. Am I still thinking about it, or are we paused? We're paused.
No,
for sure.
I think you were thinking about it.
I'm still thinking about it. Sheesh.
Yeah. All right, so you do resource Bodhi.
I think I hit you with a Bodhi earlier.
You figured
and I saw the top card of your deck and knew that you didn't have at least that one card wasn't a event. So I was like, I'd rather have more ways to exhaust your characters.
Sure. All right. Using Thrawn.
Oh. Exhaust the K2. That's having Bosk on top. I think that's the one reason you have Bosk in this deck.
Yeah.
is be able to exhaust higher cost things like
that's
that.
That's so funny. I mean, Bosk wouldn't have been horrible there either. You could ambush into K2.
Yeah, he would be not bad. So I get to exhaust your K2. I think you swung in with A-Wing so that I can exhaust the A-Wing.
Yeah, you swing in with Greedo.
And then here comes
now you got the big cunning.
Yes, this is a big cunning. And this is one that we actually talked about. I bring it out and I'm like, I wonder what the best situation is here. I don't know.
Let me skip ahead when you play it.
I play cunning, and I could either exhaust Falcon and bounce K2, or I could bounce K2 and exhaust, or I don't remember.
You could bounce Falcon and discard a card. You could bounce Falcon and give one of your ground units +4 attack so it can trade into K2. You could, I mean, cunning is so versatile. You can kind of do anything, right? So
I could bounce K2 and then exhaust, or I mean, give the TIE Fighter +4. And if I do, then I get to take out the Falcon. So it's like, I have a lot of options. And what I end up going with is giving the TIE Fighter +4 and bouncing K2.
Yeah, let me skip ahead to where we actually do that, because we talked about this for a while.
Yeah, because you could swing in, and you actually decide you're going to swing in for 3 with the Falcon. And I'm like, well, I have a freaking 6 power TIE Fighter and a 3/3 up. That's 9 damage. That takes you to 21. All I have to do is 4 more damage and I win. Yeah. So you end up having to take out the TIE Fighter with your Falcon and trade, which is not great value. Not good for Sabine. So I think that kind of like seals the deal almost. Yeah, so basically what I choose is I bounce K2 so that you can't get the heroic sacrifice off if you had it, and then give +4 to the TIE fighter.
Yeah, you're debating right now either to give it to the TIE fighter or give it to the cell block guard, I think.
Yeah, because I could give it to the cell block guard and then swing in, but I decided to go with the TIE fighter and make you choose if you want to go face or take out the TIE fighter.
Yeah, I have to take out the TIE fighter because it's just too much damage otherwise.
Yep. So I swing in for 3. You play Sabine, and then I think I just take initiative here.
Yeah, not
and
much
I have
else
a
for you to
cunning,
do.
and I have another cunning. You can bring out Sabine, which I think you have to at this point.
Probably, yeah.
And you swing into the cell block guard, which doesn't matter to me. I take 1.
I was doing the math here, and I was like, okay, I have 10 health left. You're gonna have 9 damage for sure next turn with between the cell block guard, Greedo, and Thrawn. I can't use her ability, otherwise I will pretty much guarantee my own death. So,
yep. You should have probably brought Sabine out last turn so you can at least use her to defeat the cell block guard.
Yeah, probably was not worth holding her back here.
But just then like, my cunning is probably even better.
That was just like such a bad turn for me. That turn 3 or whatever. I think like that sealed the deal on its own almost.
Yep. So I'm.
And then you got back-to-back cunnings, and it's just like okay.
Yeah, and you had 3 units out to make it like actually full value, which is crazy. Resource.
And you go first.
And I go first. So we bounce A-wing, I think, and then exhaust the other 2. Nope, bounce Sabine, exhaust 2 A-wings. Doesn't matter though.
No, you do bounce A-wing. It looks like.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking. Maybe I'm like, oh, you know what I do? I exhaust those 2 and give +4 to Greedo.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't care if the A-wing hits you. Yep. You want to just kill me.
So I exhaust both the Sabines and then give Greedo +4. So I'm swinging in for 7.
Yeah.
Plus I have guard.
I'm very dead here. I'm just playing it out.
Yep. And then 3 more with guard, and that's it.
Yep. Nice. So turn 5 victory against Sabine for Thrawn.
He's got some control, man.
Double yellow is just real good. And Thrawn's ability is really good too, honestly. Like against
Thrawn's ability
Sabine.
is clutch. And Cunning's, man, Cunning's are so strong.
So good.
So that's game 2. And it's a 1-to-1. Who's going to take it all? Guess we'll see.
We will find out.
Game 3. Here we go. All right. What are we working with here? I got a Greedo and a TIE fighter. I'm like, I could just do the same thing. And I have the cell block guard. I could just do the same thing I did last turn. And it seemed to work. So why don't I just do that?
Just do it again.
Greedo, if you can one-shot Sabine with Greedo, that's so much value. So it's like
you get to kill my leader with a 1-cost unit.
Yep. I'm going I'm going first, I think. Did you let me go first?
No, I think I'm going first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I go TIE fighter, Greedo. If I get to take initiative, then I also get to play the cell block guard before you get to do anything.
Yeah.
Keep him alive until you bring out Sabine, or you don't get to bring out Sabine.
Yeah, and then try and get that event or upgrade on top of your deck.
What about your side? What are you looking at?
So I've got 2 Rebel Pathfinders, A-Wing, Fleet Lieutenant, Benthic, and Millennium Falcon. I know I for sure get rid of at least 1 Pathfinder. I want to keep an A-Wing. I probably keep an A-Wing and a Pathfinder, and then toss back Benthic and the other Pathfinder.
Yep.
Benthic by himself kind of sucks. Card. And yeah, Falcon's great. Definitely want to keep it. And
I'm deciding what to resource. Boba Fett and Bosk are the 2 for sure. Keep one Boba Fett, and then keep my other play here. So you do let me go first.
No, I think. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did let you go first. Interesting.
The reason being because you get to choose.
Yeah, I get to choose which arena I go into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, as the control deck, do you just pass against Sabine? You probably do, because like, you don't care if I pass as well, and then we just go to 3 resources. That just benefits you.
Yeah.
But you had 2 units to play. Like you had your line sort of locked in already, so it didn't matter here. All right, I'm playing A-Wing, kind of doing the same thing as last game. And next round, drew K2 and Heroic Sacrifice. Love seeing both of those. What did you draw?
I drew Cunning and the Cartel.
Spacer. Okay, cool.
The Spacer's actually pretty good here, but I want to keep Cunning because I'm never resourcing that.
Yeah.
And then I know I want to play Cell Block Guard. so I'm keeping that to play. And then Boba Fett is also super good, so I was like, I'll just get rid of the spacer.
Yeah,
probably should have kept the spacer and resourced Boba Fett, because you kind of want to have Boba Fett out before you get to bring out Sabine. But I mean, it's fine.
You could play Boba Fett this turn and not cell block guard as well.
But I want to keep Greedo alive.
Sure. Yeah. Well, but there's nothing. Yeah. Okay. I guess if you're thinking that I'm going to be able to claim and then kill Greedo before you get to do anything. Yeah. Okay.
And then, yeah, I mean, it worked last game, so I was like, I'm just going to do it again and see if I can win again.
For sure.
I'm still deciding. I mean, it's a hard choice. Maybe I do resource Boba Fett. Okay.
Nope. Thinking.
I go back and forth. Oh, I accidentally was drawing my cards. Yeah, so I resourced the spacer. I'm not surprised. I look at the top cards, and I could swing in with TIE Fighter and die and not kill your thing, which is terrible. I could try to exhaust your A-Wing right now.
But obviously
I can't. Oh, yeah, because then I don't play anything. Yeah. I think I said that to you. You're like, you can't exhaust? I was like, no, because then I don't get to play anything.
Mm-hmm. So we're just doing stuff back and forth here. I'm waiting to see what you do. And
yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But then you were able to pace me on actions to take. So I just like, I'll play the Soul Block card.
Yeah.
I guess I could have passed, but I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
having a 2 cost there might have actually been pretty sweet, because then it's like I play the spacer and then exhaust
you could exhaust Falcon. Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
So maybe keeping Boba Fett was worse.
So here, I hit your TIE Fighter instead of hit you. I think I shouldn't have done that. I think I should have just hit you.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
I don't know. I think I was probably I think I was just getting greedy on like, oh, I can just kind of like control space forever from this point. Mm-hmm. But I already had control space. Like your TIE Fighter can't hit one of my guys. I was a little bit worried throughout these games that you had Surprise Strike and you'd be able to just like get a ton of value off of that with the TIE Fighter Surprise Strike and get into the A-Wing. And I don't know if you have that in your deck or not, but that was probably what I was trying to play around here. And I think I probably should have just hit you. It's like if you have Surprise Strike, you can't really play it next turn and cunning at the same time. So I think, well, but you could give the TIE Fighter +4 attack and take out something that way, so it prevents that. I'm still not 100% sure what was right here, but I think I probably should have just hit you with Falcon.
Yeah. I definitely think keeping the spacer there was better, because I would exhaust your A-Wing and then you would play your Falcon and then I would play the Cartel spacer
and then exhaust
your Falcon.
Yeah.
Like that would have been so much better.
That would have been a great
play.
But
I was locked in.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you knew that Falcon was on the top. It was, I think, the second card that I drew.
But also, the Cell Block guard's still just like super clutch. Yeah,
it's still
Sabine,
good.
So
still good.
I was fine. I drew Bodhi and Crafty Smuggler. Let's see. I'm going into 4 resources. I probably dump the Crafty Smuggler because I'm going to play at 3 costs and then use Thrawn's ability.
Yeah, makes sense. And then I think I'm getting rid of Ezra here because I want to be able to Fleet Lieutenant Sabine into the Cell Block guard. And I only have 3 resources here because I'm going to keep Falcon alive. Kind of feels bad to put Ezra back. Maybe I should have put For a Cause in my resources. But I don't know.
Actually keep Falcon ready here? Because this is where you forget to pay for it. And I ask you after I show the cunning.
Oh, sure. I think I still do.
Yeah.
I think I still would.
Yep. So Crafty Smuggler's gone.
Oh, no, I paid for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The next round might be it.
Yeah, maybe it was the next round.
I don't think you're going to play cunning. I think you Boba Fett.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think I Bodhi.
Oh, okay.
And I hit your
you hit my Heroic Sacrifice, which was big.
Yeah.
Which is big.
Especially since you have K2 in hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, the last thing I want is to see a Heroic Sacrifice.
Yeah, Bodhi's so good against this deck.
Yeah. Oh, you're away right here.
Oh, okay. Let me fast forward.
So I kept looking at the top cards of the deck so I didn't forget by the time you got back.
All right, so you're exhausting. I'm going to hit you for 3.
Yep. Makes sense. Now I got 6 damage on board. I'm winning the race right now.
You are.
Based on what's on board. But you do get to flip Sabine here.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm deciding if I want to... So, like, I can keep Greedo ready. Keep both of my guys ready for when you bring out Sabine. Because then it's like... I can swing with Greedo, and if I hit the event, which I know whether I can or not.
Yeah.
Either way, I
I
can
assume
use
you
both of
can't,
them.
which is why you hit Greedo. I hit my base with
Right.
Greedo. But yeah, if you did keep them both ready,
You don't only
maybe
assume. The reason I did it is because I revealed the top card of my deck to exhaust your unit.
Okay.
And you wouldn't
Sure.
like
So I
you would
know.
know, even if you didn't remember,
Yeah.
you would have known that I couldn't hit with Greedo because the top of your deck was a Spec Force soldier. It was only one,
Okay,
and I couldn't
gotcha.
exhaust it.
Yeah,
So I had to reveal the top of mine.
Watching the replay here, I've already forgotten what was on the top of your deck. So I'm giving the Subblock Guard -4 attack so that I can hit it with Sabine and Fleet Lieutenant,
which
not take damage back.
So now I have 3 resources sitting there. I can go Bodhi or Boba Fett. Obvious choice is Bodhi, so that you can't do some shenanigans with Sabine, whether it's Surprise Strike or something else. And then I see the Heroic Strike, and I'm like, yep, let's get rid of that junk.
Yep, getting rid of that was real good.
But you still get to do the damage with Sabine, plus flip her out and use Fleet Lieutenant, which is pretty good value.
Yeah,
except you're having to waste it on my Subblock Guard. But she takes no damage back, so you have a pretty good board here. But guess what? I took the initiative and have Cunning in hand.
Yep.
And that card is busted.
So good.
Cunning wins games.
All right, so I've got some interesting decisions to make here. I know you play Subblock Guard, so I'm not like super excited to resource the Spec Force soldier, but I think I probably do it anyway because I want to keep the other cards to push damage. And you're thinking about resourcing that Surprise Strike.
The reason I
choose Spacer instead
don't is because I could like use one of those to defeat Sabine or something.
Yeah. Well, you already have Cunning in hand too, so you can already deal with like 3 units and a 4th with Thrawn's ability if you needed to.
Yeah, so I'm playing Cunning here no matter what, so I think I was like, I don't need the space guy.
Maybe the Spacer is better than Boba Fett.
Maybe.
But I don't know. All right,
yeah,
you're going first.
That's probably true.
So I'm about to eat a Cunning here, probably. Yep. So you play it. Let's see what modes you choose.
I think I exhausted
now I'm paying for Falcon because that.
Right. So this is where you forgot to pay for it. And
I think I always still keep it out regardless.
Yeah, I don't have anything in space to kill it, so it's like, and I don't have ping damage, so you don't have to worry about like trying to heal it.
Exactly.
So for sure, I exhaust your stuff on ground so that you can't attack into either of my things. I think I go back on it. I think I'm like, I just want to keep, I bounce that guy.
Yep.
And keep the A-Wing ready.
Yeah. So I deal 3 to you here and then play K2. You deal 6.
So now I have both of my
Yeah, and now you
guys.
know that there's something on top of your deck that can kill Sabine.
That's the cool little interaction with my man
Greedo,
Thrawn.
yeah, that's so good.
Here comes K2, and I'm like, well, I just deal 3.
Yep. You do let me take initiative here, right?
I guess.
No,
I undo it.
Yep.
I'm like,
we were thinking about that. I was like, wait.
Like,
you're going to let me take initiative. That's not worth it. So
I don't need the 3. I need to just keep killing your stuff or bouncing your stuff or exhausting it until I can win.
Yeah. So you end up taking initiative here, and then we go to the next round. And yeah, I'm resourcing Falcon because I'm gonna have to pay for it. I want 5 resources to spend, and I already have one. So
Thrawn's coming out, and I got a bouncer.
Yeah.
So I resourced Boba Fett. Finally, I kept him around way too long. And I think I just bouncer plus exhaust because I get to go first. You have 3 things, so obviously I bounce K2, and then I exhaust something before you get to use both things, or both of the other 2.
Yep.
Bouncer for K2. That's such insane value.
Yeah, it's so good. And then I'm playing Fleet Lieutenant on. No, I can't actually do that with Falcon. I have
Trash.
I have to do that with A-Wing.
Trash. I don't think it.
Neither of us noticed. That's so funny.
I don't think it matters because I just exhaust the other one. So it had 0 relevance because you had K2 as well, so I could hit either unit.
True. Okay. Well, for those watching at home, that was
a mistake. You see the Falcon, you think he's a rebel.
It is, right? It's
yeah.
Yeah. So you bring out Thrawn, deal a bunch of damage to me. I'm sad. I choose not to play Leia here because I may want to play it next turn to exhaust something that you have. But...
You also want to go first, probably.
Oh, like, yeah, I claimed, yeah, instead of playing.
If I go first, I only have to deal 7.
And it feels so bad.
And you have to deal 11 here.
Yeah, so I'm resourcing Wing Leader because it's very slow at this point in the game. Like, it gives me +2 damage, but I've already got Surprise Strike and For a Cause. I keep both K2s because you can play a K2 while you have a K2 out and defeat one of your K2s to deal 3. So just in case I needed to make that play, I did that.
I resourced a Surprise Strike, but that was dumb. I should not have done that. But
no, wait,
it
did
doesn't
you?
matter. Yeah.
Oh, you had 2. You had 2. Okay. And then, am I paying for Falcon, or did I forget to pay for Falcon? We'll see. It's always a mystery.
Doesn't matter though. We're discussing it here, but it's like, so you Surprise Strike, deal 6. You have to deal 5 more.
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Is I need exactly 5 more. Like I need exactly what
2 more actions.
8 damage in 2 actions. So the beginning of this turn, I'm thinking like you basically have almost killed me.
Yeah.
I have 7 health left at this point. So I'm thinking it's going to take you 3 actions to kill me with your 3 attack characters. I don't know that you have a Surprise Strike in hand. I don't even know if I know that you have a Surprise Strike in that deck.
I haven't played one yet.
Because I don't think you played one yet. You've resourced all of them.
Yes.
And then I'm thinking, okay, if I hit you, with Fleet Lieutenant plus the Surprise Strike for 6, that's 1 action, and then I can attack you twice more before you can attack me once, basically. Or I can attack you with 1 thing and then play For a Cause before you can hit me 3 times.
Right, that's what you have to do, is you have to be able to do that. Because, I have Thrawn and I swing in and exhaust something.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to hit you as fast as humanly possible here. And
so that's exactly what I do. I swing in with Thrawn to face for 3.
Because that you're
exhaust.
So, I mean, this is a little risky for you because if I have Heroic Sacrifice or if I have Fleet Lieutenant, I can kill you from 25.
There's nothing else I can do, though.
But that's it. Yeah, no, there really isn't. Like, I think you just have to play to win here. And yeah, so you get to exhaust one of my dudes. I think you choose Falcon, and then we realize that A-Wing is better in case I have Fleet Lieutenant.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Which is funny because we just missed the fact that Fleet Lieutenant worked on Falcon.
I know. Yeah, we are not perfect, so know that.
Yep.
Yeah, so I get
you
to deal
play For a Cause.
For a Cause
Doesn't
or whatever.
matter,
But no, I hit you with Falcon first just in case you can do something to Falcon, basically, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I get gotten by the Surprise Strike.
That one was super close.
I was 2 damage off there.
Mm-hmm.
If I had hit you with Falcon instead of...
You were 1 damage.
Well, with Sabine's ability, I was 1 damage. Because we ended with you at 28 here. If I had hit you instead of hitting that TIE fighter, that could have been it.
Right.
So super, super interesting. It's always like looking back on these games, it's like so easy to look at a game and be like, oh yeah, this was the obvious play. But when you don't see your opponent's cards, it's totally different.
You swung in with Falcon there. So if you didn't take out TIE fighter, I swing into your face for 2, and then I'm able to surprise strike in 1 attack and kill you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's things that would have been different one way or the other.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, super interesting. All right, so Thrawn beat Sabine in a best 2 out of 3 here, and it was close for sure. The second game was pretty convincing in Thrawn's favor. This third game, incredibly close.
Super close.
I think
it's more of a 50-50 than it is Thrawn always wins.
For sure. Yeah. I think a big part of it, right, is if the Thrawn player draws their cunnings. I've played the Sabine deck as well against a few double yellow boba decks as well. And I think that is sort of what I see, at least right now, is like the best counter to Sabine is just double yellow villain.
Yeah.
Whether that's Thrawn or Boba, I think they're both good. I think Boba might be a better overall leader than Thrawn is, but Thrawn's ability to exhaust anything and all Sabine stuff is pretty cheap. So it's very good. And it lets you keep a lot of cards in your hand because you're using Thrawn's ability rather than like a card from your hand to deal with my units. So yeah, very cool deck.
I think it's a really fun play pattern. I think Thrawn is just like generally fun to play, and it's not like oppressive control that's super annoying to play against. It's more of just like mid-level control while I'm also trying to deal damage at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel super frustrating to play against because you're not removing my units other than Cunning, right? Cunning is an insane card. But his ability, like, you're just sort of slowing things down and biding your time until you can slowly come back, which I think is really cool. And the interaction between him and Greedo is really interesting. And just like the knowledge of what is coming into my hand and being able to capitalize off of that is really cool. So I've definitely gained a new appreciation for Thrawn after these games.
I agree.
Any last thoughts before we head out here?
That's it. I'll post this on SweetDB.
Sweet. All right, check out the list, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.